I died in a car crash, but woke up in the body of a billionaire. Part 1. The night it happened, the rain wouldn't stop falling. I was Ethan Cole, a 27-year-old mechanic in a small town outside Chicago. My life was average. I worked 12-hour shifts fixing other people's cars while mine barely ran. I dreamed of building something greater, of escaping the endless cycle of bills, but dreams don't pay rent. That night, I was driving home after another long shift. The roads were slick, headlights blurred by the downpour. I remember the sharp turn on Ridgeway Highway, the blinding flash of another car speeding toward me, and then silence. Just like that, everything ended, or so I thought. The awakening. I opened my eyes expecting darkness, maybe heaven, maybe nothing. But instead, I was lying in a massive bed, silk sheets against my skin, the smell of expensive cologne in the air. Above me hung a chandelier. The room was the size of my entire apartment. I stumbled out of bed, confusion flooding me. My reflection in the mirror nearly stopped my heart. I wasn't me anymore. The face staring back was older, sharper, more polished. A man in his 40s, tall, handsome, dressed in pajamas that probably cost more than my yearly rent. The phone on the nightstand buzzed. I picked it up instinctively. The screen read, "Good morning, Mr. Donovan. The board meeting is at 9 a.m. Mr. Donovan." It didn't take long for me to realize the truth. Somehow, impossibly, I had woken up in the body of Alexander Donovan, one of America's youngest self-made billionaires, a man whose face was on magazine covers, whose companies stretched across tech, banking, and real estate. I, Ethan Cole the mechanic, who died in a car crash, had been reborn in the body of a billionaire. A second chance. At first, it was overwhelming. Assistants running in and out, staff bowing, people calling me sir. I had no idea how to act. I spent hours pretending to be groggy from medication, just to avoid answering questions I didn't understand. But slowly, I pieced things together. Alexander Donovan wasn't just rich, he was powerful. He owned skyscrapers, controlled corporations, and had enemies everywhere. His life was luxurious but dangerous. And yet, I realized something. This was my second chance. All the dreams I couldn't afford as Ethan, the businesses I wanted to build, the people I wanted to help, I could do them now. This was more than wealth. It was a rebirth, but I also discovered something darker. I died in a car crash, but woke up in the body of a billionaire. Part 2. The Billionaire's Secrets. Alexander Donovan had enemies, ruthless ones. The more I dug into his files and emails, the more I realized his empire wasn't built on honesty alone. Shady deals, betrayed partners, families ruined by his decisions. The name Donovan was both worshipped and cursed. And then came the letter, delivered to his mansion in a plain envelope. Inside, a single sentence written in red ink. "You stole my life, Donovan. Soon I will take yours." My blood ran cold. Whoever hated Alexander Donovan before, still hated him now. But it was me, Ethan, living in his body, wearing his face, carrying his enemies. A life on fire. At the board meeting, men in suits twice my age looked at me with suspicion. They whispered, wondering why Mr. Donovan suddenly seemed different, less sharp, less arrogant. But others noticed something else. I started treating people with respect, listening, offering ideas, not just for profit, but for people. My change unsettled the snakes, but it inspired those who had suffered under Donovan's reign. It was strange, me, a mechanic who once counted pennies, now influencing billions of dollars with a single word. But the threats grew darker. My car brakes failed one morning. An elevator malfunctioned, nearly killing me. Someone wanted Donovan dead and I was trapped in his skin. I died in a car crash, but woke up in the body of a billionaire. Part 3. The Final Revelation. Weeks passed. I grew comfortable in my new role, even daring to enjoy it. But then, one night, a man appeared in my office. Tall, stern, his eyes carried years of hate. "You're not him," he said, his voice shaking. I froze. "What do you mean?" "I know Donovan," he hissed. "I've studied him for years. And you. You look like him, but you're different. Softer, kinder. Who are you?" I hesitated, then whispered the truth. "I'm not Donovan. My name is Ethan Cole. I died in a car crash and woke up in his body." The man stared, disbelief on his face, then laughter. "You think that's a coincidence?" he asked. "Donovan died the same night you did. A jet crash. His body was never found somehow. Fate gave you his life." The weight of his words crushed me. I hadn't just stolen a life, I had been chosen to carry it. "Then why the threats?" I asked. He leaned closer, his eyes burning. "Because Donovan ruined lives. And even if you aren't him, you wear his name. And for that, you must pay." Stronger than before. That night, I realized something. Maybe I couldn't erase Alexander Donovan's sins, but I could rewrite his legacy. I used his wealth to repay the families he destroyed. I sold off corrupt companies, rebuilt others to help communities. I became a different kind of billionaire, one who remembered the taste of hunger, the sting of failure, the value of life. People whispered again. They called it a miracle. They said Donovan had changed, that death had humbled him. But I knew the truth. Ethan Cole died in a car crash and was reborn in the body of a billionaire. And this time, I wouldn't waste my second chance. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more.